Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I've been doing a review of the Canon PowerShot A2500 pocket digital camera. Now, what I'm going to be basically doing is giving you a very in-depth review of the physical components and then the software components and different picture taking modes and all that good stuff. But if you want to see some sample pictures and videos taken with this camera, I've made a separate video just so that it wouldn't make this video too long. And in that video, it provides sample pictures and videos taken in bright and low lighting conditions. You can find a link to that video, just simply expand the description below and there you'll find it. Now, also, in the sample picture video and in its video description on YouTube, I'll be providing a link to download an original video file taken with this camera. That video file will be unaltered, it'll just be recorded, uploaded straight to the internet as is. You can, play it back on your TV or computer and see its original quality and see if you like it or not. So let's start with the review. This is a 16 megapixel camera. It has 5x optical zoom, and while taking pictures and video, for both functions rather, you can reach a maximum of 20x digital zoom. I personally don't recommend it because it gets extremely blurry, so I suggest you stick with the 5x optical zoom, but hey, the digital zoom option is available. The screen itself on the back is 2.7 inches. It is non-touch. All the functions and commands and inputs are done through buttons over here and some at the top. As for the lens, it has a Canon zoom lens. On the body itself, working way at the top, you have the on-off button here, and this little hole right here below the on-off sign is actually the microphone when recording videos. You have zoom in and out, picture taking button, the speaker for playing back videos if you're playing it back on your camera. You have a flap here for audio video out, and it's a little there. You got two holes for putting the strap through. I haven't put the strap on yet. On the bottom, you have the flap for the memory card and the battery. It's accessible just like that. Popping out the battery, you just unlock this right here, that brown flap. And as for the memory card, you just simply push it in and out if you want to take it out. Okay, you have a tripod fixture. On the left, you have nothing. On the front, you have the flash, the lens itself, and that's pretty much it. Now, while the camera's on, you have a bunch of different options to go through. By default, when it came out of the box, it's on auto mode. It just does a preset settings and kind of detects what kind of picture mode it should stay in. So it does everything automatically. If you simply press the up auto button, what you can do is change to a different type of function. And while you're here, if you press the function set button and then you press right, you'll get a whole bunch of different options here. Here you have program. You can set a bit more manual functions you can set on your own. What I'm basically doing is going through this very slowly, and a small description shows up. You can pause the video at any point. I'm not going to read them out loud because it's going to make this video really long and boring. Just pause the video at any point just to read the mini description. But as you can see, there are a ton of different options. Some of them fun, like fisheye effect, miniature effect. Some of them are a bit more dull and boring, like monochrome. But hey, it's available. You don't have to use them. They're there, so if you want to use them, more power to you. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And of course, while you're selecting an option, so say, as you notice, some of the options here at the side are changing as I go through some of these functions. Like portrait will have different functions available compared to, say, program. Most of the functions have some of the similar features. You have different stuff like, I'm currently in program mode, just to give you guys a heads up. It basically changes brightness, focus, you can change the white balance, all that good stuff. ISO level is quite important. It can reach a maximum of 1600. And of course you have exposure on most modes. And of course you have self-timer mode from 10 seconds, 2 seconds. And you have a bunch of different options that are exclusive just to manual mode. Now here is where you can set the quality of the images. This is available in almost every function. As you can see, I set it to 16 megapixels. You can change it, of course, to what you want. Lower the quality a bit. I personally don't recommend it. But it is up to you, and there's widescreen picture taking mode available. As for video quality mode, it's 720p is the highest, and of course you can change it to 480p. Pressing the button here on the right side, on any function, let's go back to auto mode just to show you guys. Simply pressing the right button here will turn on various flash modes. You have auto and all the other good stuff. If you're in program mode, you have 4 flash options, while in auto mode, as you can see, you only have 2. You can change the display options by pressing down here, on and off. Eco mode is basically a power saving mode. So if you turn eco mode on, it'll basically, if you haven't touched the camera for say a minute, the screen will turn off a lot faster. If you were to leave it off, there's no power saving mode, the screen won't turn off as quickly. So there is a power saving mode, which is pretty neat. Not many people will use it, but hey, it is available. Going through the menu, you have a whole bunch of stuff you can control. This is pretty generic stuff, red eye correction and all that other good stuff. And of course you have other options like muting the sounds, volume, time zone, LCD brightness, and it actually tells you if you can format the memory card if you want to. Be very careful with that, because once you do it, you could lose data on your memory card. So the menu is pretty generic, just basic controls. Of course, the playback button, everyone should know, it plays back any content taken on the memory card. You can play it back, delete it, and all that good stuff. Now this question mark button over here, what it basically does is allow you to, it gives you tips as to what is available in the camera. So right now I'm auto mode, it basically tells me what auto mode does. It's pretty neat. And of course, while in certain functions like say program mode, for example, which I should have showed you guys, you have of course, where did it go? Drive mode is basically, continuous shots or single shots. So there's burst picture taking mode available as well. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate something really quick for you guys. This camera records at a maximum of 720p at 25 frames per second. Now there's something that really might disappoint a lot of people. I'm going to demonstrate for you. While recording a video, what I noticed is that zooming in and out is extremely slow. So I'm zooming in to my LG logo. Right now I'm at 5x optical zoom. And of course digital zoom is a lot faster because it's digital zoom. Don't mind the blurriness, I'm just really close to the logo, but you'll notice that digital zoom is quite quick, as it should be, but optical zooming in and out while recording a video is very, very slow and sluggish. However, while taking a picture, it's not really the same case, it's actually rather quick to respond. As you can see, reaching 5x was much, much faster. One more thing that is very annoying. This might put off a lot of people. As you can see, I'm recording a video and there's a timer telling me how many seconds I've recorded already. What's annoying is that you can't take a picture while recording a video. If I press the snapshot button, the video recording just stops and it didn't even take a picture. Now videos that are recorded, they're recorded in .mov file format, which on computers is pretty okay. But for some media players, it might be a little tricky to play because, well, they simply might not support that file format. So if you're trying to play it on your TV on a certain media player or directly through your TV, .mov file formats simply might not be supported. So it might be a bit of a problem for some people. They might have to convert it. Now, as for battery life, this camera takes roughly 200 pictures per full battery. Now, when it came to video recording, it actually did very, very well compared to a lot of pocket cameras. It recorded for about an hour and 45 minutes, roughly. That can differ depending on how many times you're zooming in and out, all the other stuff, but I got about an hour and 45 minutes on a full battery charge. As for video recording length, now here's the thing. If you press the record button, it'll simply keep recording continuously up until the file reaches 4 gigabytes. Now, what that'll mean is it'll be approximately 27 minutes per video file, which is actually fairly huge. That's actually pretty large. And of course, this is a pocket camera, so you cannot use a flash while recording a video. That is pretty much obvious, but I have to mention it for those that don't know about that. I've pretty much demonstrated all there is to demonstrate, so it's time to wrap up this review and give it its final verdict. And as a final score, I'm giving this camera a 2 out of 5, which might seem very harsh, but hear me out, here's why. The pros of the device is that it has a very easy to use interface. There's, it's pretty simple, it's very straightforward, it's not too complicated, very easy to use, which is good. As for the design itself, it's also very easy to use. As you can see, there's a minimal amount of buttons on the back and at the top. It's just very basic. Overall, it's very simple to use. The camera itself, the body is very compact. Even for a pocket camera, I have to say that the size is decent, but it's extremely light, even for a pocket camera. I mean, it's really, really light, which is great and fantastic. Of course, echo mode is great to have as a power saving mode. If you forget that your screen is on, it'll just automatically turn off a lot faster, and saving power is always a good thing. As for zooming in and out, for pictures, it's really quick and responsive. As you can see, 5x optical zoom is really responsive, it's great. After taking pictures and videos, its processing time is fairly quick. And I'm using a class 4 memory card, which isn't the fastest. Most high-end cameras is recommended to use 10. I'm using class 4 and it's still pretty quick and responsive, so it's good at processing pictures and videos. There are plenty of picture taking modes available. As you saw, I suggested you guys pause it and read the description for yourself, but there are plenty available for such a budgeted camera, which is good. And depending on where you purchase it from, if you're like myself, you get a bonus nylon case. It just came in the box for free. So depending on where you live and where you bought it from, this may or may not come in the box, but it's a nice perk if you have it available. However, there are some cons with this device. The first con is that it records videos in .mov file format. Now, as I said, for computers that's not really a problem, but playing it back on your TV or a media player, it might be a little bit tricky because your TV or media player simply might not support that file format, which could be a problem for some people. Of course, you can't take pictures while recording a video. For some people, that's just a big no-no. For some people, they might not really care, but I have to say that it's just not available, which is kind of strange considering it's a very popular feature nowadays. While recording a video, the camera zooms in very, very, very slow. I was expecting optical zoom to be slower than digital zoom, which is pretty much obvious, but not this slow and sluggish. I do wish it was a lot faster than this. No USB cord was included in the box to transfer pictures and videos. What you have to do is basically turn off the camera, open the flap, pop out the memory card, and then plug it into your computer. Which leads to my next point. There is no charging cord of any kind. You can't plug in the camera anywhere and recharge the battery. You have to do the exact same thing. You have to open the flap, pop out the battery, plug it into its adapter in the outlet so the camera can't be used at all. You can't view pictures. You can't do anything. The camera is completely inaccessible. So you have to pop out the flap and take the battery out to charge it every time, which can be very annoying. One strange thing about this camera is that when you're taking pictures and videos, it'll look really good on this LCD screen on the camera itself. However, when I transfer it to my computer, and I also have a 1080p monitor, it turns out very blurry. Picture quality isn't that great. It could be better. Actually, most of the time it's extremely grainy. You have to be in sunlight, good lighting conditions in order to get a decent picture. If you're indoors, with lights on, even if it's really bright, it'll turn extremely grainy picture quality. As for videos on this thing is absolutely terrible. They'll look good on the camera while you're playing it back, but when you play it on your TV or computer, they look horrendous. Quality overall is generally bad. And of course, most importantly, I already said it, picture and video quality on this camera is far from good. It's really, really bad. That's my biggest negative point. You might be thinking I gave this camera a really harsh score, but that's because the picture quality and video quality is absolutely terrible. Now, this camera is going for about $120 here in Canada. I suggest you avoid this camera. Dish out a bit more money. If you can spend an extra $15 or $20, you can get a much, much better camera with 1080p recording, but most importantly, the quality of pictures and videos is a lot better. Heck, I think you can even get the Canon ELPH110 for an extra $10 more if you can find them. It's an older model from Canon, but if you can find it, it's much better. I suggest you spend a bit more money and buy a different camera. Avoid this camera. So that's my video review. Don't forget, if you want to see some sample pictures and videos for yourself, see what I'm talking about, the low quality, be sure to check out that video. A link in the description below. And that's pretty much it. If you found this video useful, check my website in the description below. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.